Here in the Piedmont Triad, we're all connected by the ideas, innovations, and people working to improve our region. From transportation and planning to housing and economic vitality, we bring those conversations to you. Welcome to the Triad Regional Connections Podcast, hosted by Audra Adams and Lamar Powell, brought to you by the Piedmont Triad Regional Council. Hi, and welcome to this episode. I am Audra Adams.
And my name's Lamar Powell.
And today we welcome to the table Drew Corbett.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me. Well, where should we start?
Well, exactly what do you do at the Piedmont Triad Regional Council?
I am the program's operation manager for the Community Development Department at Piedmont Triad Regional Council. I look over the Rehabilitation program, which is the single-family rehab program that's offered by the state of North Carolina. I also watch over the Weatherization program, and I'm also in charge of the training center that we've created.
Goodness. That's a lot.
We wear a lot of hats.
Yeah.
You have your plate full. How long have you been at PTRC?
This was my 12th year at PTRC.
Wow. Well, you must like it.
I do love our programs. I love helping people, which is our mission. So that's what we're here for.
Okay, so you mentioned about 3 different things right there, and I want to dive into each one of them because they're all very important. Let's talk about weatherization. What does that mean to our region?
So weatherization has been around since 1976. It's something that not a lot of people know about, but it's one of the biggest programs in North Carolina that helps out with our 200% below property level. So we are always in homes where people are having difficult times making ends meet. What does the program actually do for us? The program actually is an energy efficiency program. We look at heating and air systems. We look at your insulation levels. We look at anything that might help lower your power bills. So therefore, if we go up in your house and we have all kinds of fancy equipment, I don't think we want to get into all that today, but we'll run our tests. We'll see exactly how leaky the house is and exactly where the best measures being performed will help versus the money that we're allowed to spend on the home. So we might air seal a house, insulate a house. We may change out the heating and air system. We may do all of the above, but that's what it's here for. It's a completely free program. There are no strings attached. It goes by the person living in the house. So if the person living in the house qualifies for the program, then it's free from then on out. There are no strings attached with this program.
How do you apply for that program?
There's several different ways to apply, but the best way to apply is to either reach us at Piedmont Triad Regional Council. You can call us at 336-904-0300 for all of our programs. Ask to speak with someone in the Weatherization department. They'll put you in contact with Ms. Chandra Enzar, who will do our initial intake process. She'll figure out what program best fits you, and then we'll go from there.
What are you doing as the council to spread the word to the public that that's something that's available?
That is a good question. So we do several different things. Once a year, we always put ads in the papers to let people know, our contractors as well, because we're always looking for new contractors to help do the work. But we also put out information. We've done ads. We've been on the news a couple of times. We do a lot of door-to-door hangers. We'll actually canvass communities that we know are in our district, so we can actually just walk up and put them on the doors. Any way to get word of mouth. To be honest with you, the best way is for people who have been in our program to let people know how it works. It is hard these days, unfortunately, in the era that we live in, where everybody's trying to scam our elderly, because we help a lot of elderly.
Yeah.
They always look at it like, is this real, or is somebody just trying to scam me out of my money? So these days it's more difficult. So the more we can get our name out, our word out for all of our programs, the better off we are.
And how wide of an area do you serve?
So in our weatherization program, we cover 7 counties at this point in time.
Okay.
We cover all of the Triad, but we've also expanded. So when I say Triad, we cover Randolph, we cover Alamance, we cover Rockingham County, Caswell County, Guilford County, Forsyth County, and Davidson County. That is our primary 7 that we cover for our weatherization department.
That's a huge...
It gets bigger. We also are now currently in the IJA project, which was formerly the Bill project. What that means is we have an extra 23 counties that we're serving right now for weatherization services across the state. We're covering from Mecklenburg County all the way back to Alamance County, everything in between and up. So pretty much give us a call. Anybody who hears this message, if we can't do it, we know who to put you in touch with so they can do it.
How That's amazing. First
It
of
is.
all,
It is amazing.
how do you recruit your teams?
Well, we have an amazing staff. We've been very fortunate. PTRC has allowed us to go out and get some of the brightest help that there is. So we already have more QCI inspectors, which is what that means is we have inspectors that have been trained by BPI standards and by IREC standards to go out and look at homes once they've been finished and the initials. We have brilliant staff. We're always adding more. Um, right now, I'm actually looking for 2 more inspectors. So the beauty of us is what we talked about with the training center is that we can now train our own staff because we are certified by BPI and the IREC standards to train nationwide.
Nationwide.
That's right.
That's huge. Yeah.
Mhm.
So weatherization, the other thing too about that I think is important is who you're serving. So low income,
Low
poverty
income,
level, a
we are
lot of elderly.
200% below poverty rate, which means that we help out a lot of people. For the exact numbers on that, I would encourage everyone who listens to this to go to Piedmont Triad Regional Council, look at the community development website,
Yeah.
and you'll see a FAQ tab. When you do, it'll actually have the breakdown of how much money each house can make per people who live in the house. We help a lot of single parents. We help a lot of elderly. All in all, I've done houses on golf courses. I've done houses in trailer parks. We also do rentals.
Wow.
So it's not just
Yeah.
home. It's weatherization is a completely different program. So if someone lives in a home that they are renting from their landlord, as long as the landlord agrees, we can do weatherization services there as
Yeah.
well.
So it's not just, we talk about Piedmont Triad Regional Council being this partnership with different governments, different municipalities, but here we have in this program, and all of those actually go to serve the public, to serve our citizens. And this is one that's hands-on in the community, in the neighborhoods, helping folks in need and meeting that need.
It is, and we have several partners that help us within that program. Duke's a big partner of ours. Our aging programs help with some of these funds as
Yeah.
well. So we actually pull funds from several different partners to help make this program work even better. We also use our rehabilitation program, which is called the Essential Single Family Rehab Program for the state of North Carolina. We cover 14 counties in that, and they coincide with our entire region here in PTRC.
How does that make you feel helping
I love it.
these families?
My entire life I've spent trying to help people, whether it's on my private side or whether it's work. So I started in weatherization in 2009. So this is my 16th year in that particular program. I have been in charge of the rehab program for about 4 years now, but helped out and worked within it for the last 7.
Yeah.
Tell me when you say rehabilitation program, what does that encompass?
So the rehab program is a little bit different from weatherization. We can spend a lot of more money, a lot of extra dollars in the home. What that entails is that we are actually bringing it up to code and health and safety standards. So it may be that we have to go in and jack up floors in a house where the bathroom floors are falling. So some of these things we cannot cover with weatherization. I guess I should mention that. Weatherization is an energy efficiency program. Rehabilitation helps us bring the house back up to code, and it helps us bring the house up to current health and safety standards. So things that we might defer weatherization for: leaky roof, falling floors, things that we can't spend those dollars because our dollars are limited with weatherization. Those things we try to do with our rehab program. So that program goes for area income is 80% for the median area income. So how that works is that basically it's a touch different from weatherization. It still helps the exact same people. It's more elderly based. We look for 62 and up. We also help out anybody who is permanently handicapped or disability. So that's who all qualifies for this program. The program is different. The program puts a lien against the house, but you don't pay for it. You pay this loan off by living in the house. So every year that you live in a house, a certain percentage of that comes off of the loan.
That's an interesting
That is
approach.
interesting.
Yeah.
So it is different. Sometimes people hear that, the lien word, and that's a bad word for a lot of our clients because they worry about that. So we have to explain it that way they understand that it is a lien, but it's designed to make sure the people who are living in a house aren't just getting the program, selling the house, and trying to do it again.
So to that point, how does it matter? Does the length of the lien depend on how much work?
Yes and no. It's usually An average of 7 years
Okay.
is usually how long the lien works. There are other programs like the urgent repair program that we help administer through Burlington and a couple other municipalities. Those are usually only 5 years, and that's because it's only a 10,000, but that's an urgent repair. Always remember with both of these programs, these are not emergency repair programs. We do have a waiting list, so sometimes it takes a minute to get there. Our waiting list in weatherization is not near as long as it used to be. As a matter of fact, pretty much if you apply, most of our counties, you'll get service within the first year.
Yeah.
Rehab, it runs in 3.5 year increments. So, how to explain that? We might do Guilford and Davidson County this year. Well, once we get done and close that out for their year, if this was the ending year, we will not be able to start back up for another 3 years before we start doing the applications and actually going through it. We'll take applications, but we can't go out and do audits for that long. And then we move on to other counties. So rehab is a 3 year cycle for different counties. Weatherization is every year. It's an annual program.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Give me an example of something that y'all have done on the rehab side that you talked about these different things that you can do. Can you give me an example of that?
How about I give you an example of all the programs working together?
Okay.
We had an example of a young lady. I won't say names
Yeah,
because
right.
obvious reasons. We had a young lady in, well, I wouldn't say young. I'll say young, but she was about 62. We actually used Duke dollars on that house.
Yeah.
We used rehab dollars on that house. We used aging dollars on that house, and we also used weatherization dollars on that house. So, with that being said, this was a double wide modular. The floors were falling. It had serious plumbing issues. Floors were missing in the back part of the house. Lady's been there for a long, long time, living by herself. Heating and air didn't work, and the electrical was fried. With all the programs combined, we put a new electrical system in the house, new HVAC in the house, redid the plumbing in the house, laid floors in the house, and laid LVT flooring over top of it, put a new roof on the house, and then went in and did the weatherization work, which means we air sealed it, we insulated the belly, put a new belly in place of it, and insulated the attic. So with all of that, that's kind of how our programs, how we try to braid the dollars to make sure that we take care of the entire house. One of my success stories from my older years is that I did a lady's house a long time ago. She had never had functioning heat inside. She had no plumbing in her house. Never was ever there. We insulated the house. We actually mudded all the sheetrock. The sheetrock had been hung, but it had never been mudded. It was called a Jim Walters home. What that means is that home was built, but it was never completed. So we insulated, air sealed it, got the heat in there. I saw her 3 days after we finished. She gave me the biggest hug in the world and crying.
Sure.
She said it was the first time that she was able to sit in her recliner in her living room without 4 blankets on and not freeze to death in the winter.
Yeah.
So those are what you look for. You look for helping people who just have done everything they can their whole lives, but they just can't quite get ahead.
And that's a life-changing thing for
It
those
is.
people, for sure.
With all those programs that you enacted, and definitely the first, well, both stories that you were just telling, how did you braid that to happen at the same time? If there's 3.5 years here, 1 year here, how does that come together?
Timing is everything. We also have, like I said, the wonderful staff. My work wife, Miss Bill, works miracles. That's what I can tell you. She is incredible when it comes to braiding. She actually teaches some of the state on how to braid dollars and use them efficiently. We can't always do what we want to do on time, so that waiting period that I was telling you about. If we have a house that the roof is leaking on that we know we can't weatherize, or they have severe structural damage, we have to put that house in deferral. But we've already looked at it because our inspectors are able to look at it and qualify them for whether it's going to be rehab, weatherization, or if it's going to need both.
Okay.
So with that being said, if it comes up to that, we have to wait until that cycle opens, and then we'll go back through it. Now we do get other dollars. It's the best way to put it is that every year it seems that people find us because they know of our work, and they say, hey, I've got dollars that need to be spent. Can you use these on health and safety dollars? So sometimes, like the Helping Homes Fund, we were able to use that from the aging program, and we were able to go in and put the floors in. We're able to go in there and repair the roof. So we're able to start back up. And even then, if we can get some of it done, we can do the weatherization program and then come back in behind it and use it for the rehab program. So it's all about timing. It's about a great coordinator to coordinate all these programs together.
Yeah, it's very complex, honestly.
It is. What the people need to know is that that's on our end. The main thing we need from you is to apply,
Yeah.
come in, and let us help you. Let us help you help yourself.
I love that because, again, we're looking into a regional council in the Piedmont region and how they serve their community, their citizens, and that is an awesome example of that. Now, you talked about what, the training center?
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go.
So the training center has been a dream of ours for a very long time. That's something that started in our minds probably 5 or 6 years ago. I'm going to say 7 years ago to be exact. We were fortunate. One of North Carolina's own, his name is Kevin Scott. He had been training for a company called CHP out of Christiansburg, Virginia. He's been training for over 25 plus years. He's a master trainer. He does everything that you would dream of getting in an employee. He gave me a call and he said, "Hey, I really want to get back to North Carolina. Do you have an opening for an auditor position?" Well, as soon as he said that, the wheels started turning. We have a great executive director who will let us do things that most companies would be like, I'm not sure about that. As soon as we gave him the idea, he said, "Let's go for it. I'd love to see it. We'd love to help the state." So we brought the training center here to teach weatherization standards to North Carolina. Before, we were always going to Virginia, South Carolina, other areas that didn't teach North Carolina specific weatherization.
Okay.
So with that being said, we built the curriculum. We were BPI certified within the first year, able to give tests. And then after that, we became IREC certified. Now, IREC was a game changer for us because that makes us nationally accredited.
Okay.
In other words, that we are, if someone from California called us up tomorrow and said, "Hey, I want to fly out and I need to take a test, can you do it?" Yes, we can. So IREC was a big game changer for us with the training center. We currently are underway remodeling our building that we bought behind our main location. It will be a state-of-the-art training center. It's one of the first of its kind. It will be a tiny house replica that you can actually train inside of the building.
Oh, that's so cool.
It is cool.
So we're looking at that. We're looking at a nice partnership with another training company here in North Carolina. We're hoping that that comes to fruition and it works out well for both of us. So the training center is something we're very proud of. We now have the good thing about our staff that I told you earlier is that we have some of the most trained staff in the state of North Carolina for these programs. So they actually train the other staff across the state. We're able to go out in the field. We're able to go out in their satellite offices and train them there. We also built our first mobile tiny house. It's the first one that we know of that's truly mobile and can move and can be used. It's already BPI certified and IREC certified to do trainings in. So we can actually take it from company to company to actually train people on the spot. What that does, it helps. We all know it's hard to get work done as it is in this field because you're dealing with the weather, you're dealing with clients, you're dealing with all types of situations. We're able to take this to them to where they do not have to lose time in the field or send people to hotels to where they can't afford to send their people for training.
Take me through how, if someone is coming to be trained and to be certified, how long is that process?
Ooh, now that is a good question because there are several different certifications that we need to do this profession. In weatherization, we go through, I'm going to say probably you have to have 10 certifications before you're actually allowed to be a QCI inspector. So that's a hard question to answer, but I will say for an EA, which is an energy auditor certification, you have to take some other classes before you qualify to take it. Those classes will run about a week apiece.
Okay.
Once those classes are done, you can take the EA. The EA takes about a week to complete. You take a test at the end, of course, on all three classes. We have the Building Science Principles is the first one that they have to take. Building Analyst Technical is the second one. Then Building Analyst Professional before you even get to the EA. So it is some things to it, but what people need to know, people who are looking at this as a possible career change, is that it's something that you can come in and start taking these classes as you're doing the job. Or you can come in and take these classes and you can go to different agencies who are looking and you will jump ahead of everybody because you've already had the training. It's not as expensive as trying to go to a technical college and get a 2-year degree. So it's a little bit more budget friendly for the average worker. And it's also a great career that can lead to many different things.
It's a very condensed training, and it's a condensed training time.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think for what you are able to do with that certification, it's, to me, not a long time to be
It's
training
not,
for
there
it.
is some experience required that you have to have, so you do have to stretch it out. I would say if you were coming in the field and you have never done it before, that QCI would probably be about 1.5 to 2
Okay.
years before you'd actually get it. Doesn't mean you're not working in the field. It just means you can't go out and do a final audit. You're still able to work. You're still able to go out and do the initial audits, which we have more initial audits than we do finals, unfortunately, due to deferrals. So all in all, 1.5 to 2 years to be fully qualified that you're a master trainer in this field.
So who all's taken these certifications or needing them? I know you have a team that go out and do this work.
Every weatherization provider in North Carolina has to have these qualifications. If you want to do finals for your agency, you have to be QCI. Now, they're also used in other fields, not just weatherization. A lot of your co-ops, they like for their inspectors who go out and look at the houses to do their version of weatherization to have the same certification. So we've helped out people from Dominion Energy in South Carolina have come to us for training. We've helped out people. We've actually went to New Hampshire not too long ago to teach people how to do mobile homes and have them trained correctly. So it's so many different people now, and we're also branching out that we're starting to train the rehab side of things.
Mm-hmm.
So just like everything else, everything's always changing and evolving. The training center will continue to evolve, and it will be energy efficiency, health and safety, and construction management, I hope.
And so what that's helped is you're providing all these services, but now that you've added the training center element, that only, like you said at the beginning, not only helps to serve certified your own people, but your certified people across the state and other states.
Yes.
You're able to do that. That's huge.
Oh, it is. My question, just as a citizen,
Mm-hmm.
is how do you find the people who need to be trained?
That is something that we've worked on for years. It's always hard to find qualified people in weatherization work. The reason why is, once we said earlier, most clients don't know about weatherization, so a lot of people don't know that job exists. So we go out to job fairs. We actually set up at Greensboro Coliseum, and it was a middle school job fair for middle school students to start figuring out what type of technical trades there were in the area. So we go there as well. I've gone to college career fairs. You name it, we go to it. Mainly people who have been around it, mainly people who we've helped teach. We were fortunate enough to do a Fannie Mae event where we trained about 15 students from Guilford County and how to do it. They were graduating. 2 of those students are now at App State going through the energy efficiency field. So we're hoping that we continue to find people that way. It's not easy to find people because these days there's so many stay-at-home jobs. Not a lot of people like to go out and do the physical part, but then you find people who don't want to stay at home. But we typically try to find our more technical trade courses at colleges, at high schools, and that's where we kind of promote these programs.
Well, it sounds like you're wearing a lot of hats, but you're wearing them very stylishly.
We wear a lot of hats, but we have a lot of people that help. Like I said, we can't do any of this without the great staff at PTRC. We can't do any of it without the leadership we have from Mr. Dolge. We're very fortunate with the leadway that we get, and we're very fortunate to be able to do new and innovative things without worrying about failing.
Yeah.
Well, and you're serving the community truly.
We do love it.
The things that you are able to offer them, I mean, they're just so unattainable for so many people, and such a source of stress, and it could lead to, I would say, depression and anxiety and all of those things. And then to just have someone come in there and say, I'm going to fix this, I'm going to fix that, it makes you believe in humanity again.
One of the questions that was asked to us, how do we feel like that we've succeeded? And we always tell them, like, we have allowed someone to buy their medicine again. We've allowed someone to buy food again. We've allowed somebody to buy clothes and blankets that were not buying those things because their power bills were $300 to $400, because they're heating their house with their ovens, or they're heating with so many different space heaters. So anytime that we're able to give back where we're helping the community, that's what we live for. So we love it.
I want to say thank you so much. You have really dug in and made this part of your life's mission, and you can tell you're so passionate about that. And I just hope that even this podcast helps get the word out even more so that you're able to continue and multiply exactly what you're doing in spades.
Well, thank you for having me. Anybody who's listening, please give us a call at Piedmont Triad Regional Council. We'd love to help.
We'll send them your way. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Drew.
And we will see you on the next episode. Bye now.
Bye.